The second exception is lack of jurisdiction. If a court lacks jurisdiction, obviously any award or finding made would be null and void. A defendant would certainly raise an objection as to the competency of a court to try the action. The question is whether a defendant can raise an objection as to the lack of jurisdiction if this had not been pleaded. Can the court still take cognizance of the point for one of the pleadings? This can be seen from Joseph Crossfield and Sons Limited against Manchester Ship Canonical, where in a proper case, the court will allow an objection of ouster of jurisdiction to be raised at the trial of an action, though not previously raised by the pleadings. The court will treat the pleadings as amended accordingly. Moving on, in Rangasamy against Annamalai, Matthew Seeger applied the principles laid out in Farquharson against Morgan and held that defect in jurisdiction was not patent on the face of the proceedings. The court would require far more extended argument than what they had enjoyed before they could be satisfied that there were in fact any defect in jurisdiction. Next, in Lian An Lorry Transport and Forwarding Sdn Bhd against Govindasamy, Saleh Abbas FJ held that there was nothing in the statement of defense or amended statement of defense to show that the appellants objected to the jurisdiction of the High Court to determine the issue, and in particular the question as to whether or not the respondent was an employee. Since the issue of the civil court's lack of jurisdiction was never pleaded and that it was raised only at the last stage of the trial, the federal court was of the view that the learned trial judge was right in not taking counsel's submission on this issue into consideration. The submission was considered to be without a basis in that it was not supported by their own pleadings. Thus, a clear distinction is drawn between patent and latent defects in jurisdiction. The reason for the distinction was explained by College J in Marsden's against Warder. The learned judge said there is reason for refusing the writ after judgment in the courts, where the proceedings set forth the detail of the matter, and the party has the opportunity of moving before judgment. Then if he chooses to wait and that the chance of judgment in his favour, he may be held incompetent to complain of excess of jurisdiction if judgment is against him. There is, however, good reason for departing from this principle where the defect is apparent on the face of the proceedings below, because the complaint is that case does not raise on the evidence of the complainant. And if such a defective record were allowed to remain and to support a judgment, it might become a precedent, that which was in truth an excess of jurisdiction might be considered to have been held to be legal.